Now let us learn about number line method for multiplying two fractions. Fraction 1/3 or 1/3 and fraction 1/5 or 1/5. So to represent this question in a number line, I have drawn a number line that shows from 0 to 1. And the number line is partitioned into 1/5. That means each unit is 1/5, 0 to 1/5, and then it becomes 2/5. So this unit is 1/5, and then it becomes 3/5. So this unit is again 1/5, and then it becomes 4/5, and this unit is again 1/5, and then it becomes 5/5, which is 1, and this fractional unit is also 1/5. So this is how we have partitioned from 0 to 1 into fifths. Each fractional unit is 1/5. This part, the blue colored portion, is 1/3 of 1/5. So the whole part is 1/5, and the blue colored portion is just 1/3 of the 1/5. Okay, so when we get such question, we just multiply the numerator. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 5 is 15. We just multiply the denominator. How did we get 15 in the denominator? The 15 comes because we get 15 1/3 in the whole number line. There are 15 1/3 in the number line. The next question is 1/5 of 5 is what? For such question, we just replace the word of with a time sign and just multiply. Like 1 times 5 is 5, and the denominator 5 goes below. And we know that 5/5 is 1. So that is what we usually do, and that is what I have shown here. 1/5 times 5, just multiply the numerator. So 1 times 5 will become 5, and the denominator 5 times, if it is nothing, then just imagine there is 1 over there. So 5 times 1 equals 5. Same number divided by same number equals 1. Okay. This, now let us see on a number line. So the whole number here is 5. So for that I have drawn a number line from 0 to 5. The next step is I will show you how to mark 1/5 in the number line. 0 to 1 is partitioned into 5 equal parts. So it is partitioned into fifths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 parts in 0 to 5. This part is 1/5 of the first unit, or 0 to 1, and this is 1/5 in 1 to 2, and this part is 1/5 from 2 to 3, and this part is 1/5 of 3 to 4, and this part is 1/5 of 4 to 5. So that is how we got 5 times 1/5. So the next question is 1/4 of 36. So generally we just take off this word off and make a time sign like so. So 1/4 times 36 equals, we multiply the numerators thinking that there might be a 1 as a denominator. So 1 times 36 is 36, and 4 times 1 is 4. The next step is 36 over 4. How many 4 goes in 36? Use the 4 tables. 4 times 9 is 36, right? So write the number 9. 9 is the answer. Now let us show how this problem is represented in a tape diagram. 1/4 of 36. 36 is the total. So draw a tape diagram and show that the length is 36. This part is 36. And 1/4 should be the size. So let's mark 1/4. How do we do that? We partition the total into fourths. So make 4 equal boxes like so. And 1/4 is one shaded portion of the total. So if you see here, only one box is shaded and the rest of the box is not shaded. The total number of box is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how we show the fraction in a tape diagram, 1/4. This shows an array for 36 over fourths. We know that there are 9 groups in each row. So 9 is the group. So 9 groups are formed when we multiply 1/4 times 36. So this value is 1/4 of 36. If you see here, the total number of circles will be 36. 1/4 of 36 is 9. The next problem is multiplying two fractions, 1/4 times 2/3 using area model. So usually we do the numerators and denominators. So when we multiply the numerators, 1 times 2 is 2 and 4 times 3 is 12. Now let us represent this question in area model. So when we represent two fractions in area model, let us take the first fraction 1/4 and represent it as rows, and the second fraction as columns. Okay? 1/4. I will show you how to draw 1/4. So there are 4 columns, right? So if you see here, now we are mentioning this fraction. There are 4 columns, like 4 rows, 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, and 4 row, right? There are 4 rows. And we need to shade only 1 row of the 4 rows because we are going to represent 1/4. So just shade 1 row out of 4 row. So that is why I have drawn the black. Okay, so this is how we shade the one single row out of the 4 rows. Next, now we are going to show the column 2/3, which is the second fraction and let's show that in columns. So total has to be 3 columns, 1, 2 and 3. There are 3 columns, and we are going to shade only 2 columns. So that's the first column and this is the second column. I've shown that in blue, right? 2 columns are shaded. If you see that, let's check which part of the area model the shades are getting overlapped. So if you see here, this part, the shades are getting overlapped, right? This part, right? So that part is the answer. If you see that part, we will get 2 12s. So this is 2 boxes. We have shaded the 2 boxes. So this is the 2 boxes that we have shaded. And if you count the total number of small boxes, there will be 12 of them. So that is why we got the answer 2/12. 2 shaded boxes and the total is over the denominator 12. 12 is the total number of boxes. Always remember, use the first fraction and represent the rows, and use the second fraction and represent the columns. Let's see a similar problem. 1/3 times 1/5. We usually 1 times 1 we multiply 1, and 3 times 5 we multiply the denominator and we get 15. So this is what we usually do. But this time, let us represent the whole problem in an area model. Okay, so when we represent that in an area model, take the first fraction and let us represent the rows, and we have to take the second fraction and do the columns. When we represent the rows, it is going to become 1/3. That means 1 out of there are 3 rows, right? And we are going to shade only 1 row. So this is the row that I'm shading. So there are 3 rows. I've shaded only 1 row. I represented the first fraction. And now let me represent the second fraction. Okay. 1. So there are 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns are there. We are going to shade only 1 column out of the 5. So let me shade. Okay, 1 column. So which part is getting overlapped? This part is getting overlapped, right? So that part is getting overlapped. Now if you see the answer is 1/15. This is 1 overlapped box, right? That is 1. That is the answer. That is the quotient. And the total number of boxes is 15. Okay, the next problem is 1/5 times 5/7. This fraction 5/7, we are separating it, or can be written as 5 times 1/7. There's a whole number 5 in it, and times fraction 1/7. So this step is very important. Do that step, and after that step, let us take these 2 numbers and multiply. 1/5 times the whole number 5 is 5/5, which is 1, right? So we can make this part as 1, and then this fraction is left. Let us multiply 1 with that fraction, 1 with the fraction 1/7. It will become 1/7. This problem is a similar problem. So 6/10 should be separated, or can be written as a whole number 6 and 1/10 times 1/10. Okay, the next step is to do this part. So we know that there are 6 over 3, there are two 3's in that 6, and simplify it, so it becomes 2 over 1, and the fraction is left. Multiply with that fraction. The next step will become 2 times 1 will become 2, and then 1 times 10 is 10. Simplify it using 2 tables, and the answer is going to be 1/5. This is another similar problem. Please pause it and learn from it. This is another similar problem, but here we have something new to learn. How to represent 3/8 or 3 over 8 using a tape diagram. So tape diagram is right here. So 3/8 when represented in a tape diagram, you have to shade 3 parts of the tape diagram, boxes of the tape diagram, and the total number of boxes will be 8, but just shade 3 to represent. So shade this part, 3 parts to represent 3/8. Obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. Measure greater than 90 degree. The angle that measures greater than 90 degree. Okay. So we know that if it is like so, then it is 90 degree. And if it is so, then it becomes a right angle. Since it is an obtuse angle, it must be greater than 90 degree, right? So this is the obtuse angle, and because it is greater than 90 degree. Learn the spelling of obtuse. O-B-T-U-S-E. Obtuse. So now we have a problem with 2 expressions, right? The first expression is a multiplication expression, and the second one is a division expression. Let's do the first one first. 7 times 3 is 21. Okay, and second expression, 12 divided by 3. How many 3 goes in 12? Right, 4 3 goes in 12. So 4. And see what sign is in the middle. It's an addition sign. So add the 2 values and we get the answer 25. Okay, in the next problem, first expression is an addition, 4 plus 3, and the second expression is a subtraction, 50 minus 5. Okay, and the sign that we have in the middle is a times sign. 4 plus 3, we know it is 7, and 50 minus 5, we know it is 45. Don't forget to use the same times sign which is in the question. So make a times sign between the 2 values. So you have to multiply 45 times 7. When you multiply 45 times 7, we get the answer 315. Fraction divided by a whole number. The fraction can be written in the numerator and the denominator 4 can be written on the denominator. The whole number can be written as a fraction. So 4 means 4 divided by 1. So it has a denominator 1. All the whole numbers has a denominator 1. Okay. So the next step is, it becomes times. So for that step, the denominator number has to be in the reciprocal form. So 4 over 1 can be written as 1 over 4. Okay, the next step is multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1 and 12 times 4 is 48. The answer is 1 over 48. Now let's see the expanded form. 72 times 175. 72 can be written as 70 plus 2. Write the same time sign. And 175 can be written as 100 plus 75. 475 can be written as 400 plus 75. Write the time sign. And 82 can be written as 80 plus 2. Each bag holds 8 coins. Each means 8 is the size. So if you see here, this is the size of each bag. One bag has 8 coins. Do we know the total? No, we don't know the total. We have to find it. This is 1/5 of the total. So this 8 is 1/5 of the total. Okay. So to find the total, let us multiply the two values. For that, the fraction has to go to the denominator. So when we multiply, we can multiply the two values together. 8 times 1/5 becomes reciprocal and can be written as 5 over 1. Multiply the numerators. 8 times 5 is 40. And the denominator, 1 times 1 is 1. 40 over 1 is 40. So Mia needs 40 corns for her party. So that is a statement for this question, last question. How many corns does Mia needs for her party? Mia needs 40 corns for her party. Multiplication. 4 times 2 becomes 8. 4 times 6 becomes 24. And then do the next number. 1 times 2 becomes 2. And 1 times 6 becomes 6. Then multiply both the values. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 2 plus 6 is 8. So that's how we got the answer 868. Now let's see how 3 divided by 5 can be shown in a picture. Okay, so for this 3 whole number, draw 3 boxes. First box, second box, third box. 3 boxes. And then divide that 3 boxes by 5. So each box has 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So divide the first box by 5. Divide the second box by 5 boxes. And divide the third box by 5. So this is how we represent 3 divided by 5, which is equal to 3 over 5. How many half-pound servings of fish can Mia make with 8 pounds of fish? So we know the total is 8 pounds here. How many half-pound servings? The size is half pound. The total is 8. To find the group, we have to divide the total divided by size. Right? So write the total divided by the size. which is a fraction, half. So when there is a fraction on the denominator, then take the reciprocal of it. So 1 over 2 becomes 2 over 1, reciprocal. And then the next step is multiply the numerators. 8 times 2 is 16. And you have a denominator 1 times 1, which is 1. So 16 over 1 is 16 pounds. So how many pounds does Mia needs? Mia needs 16 half-pound servings of fish. So that is she can make 16 half-pound servings of fish with 8 pounds of fish. Oh, look at this question, the question in the blue. 8 divided by 1/3 equals what? So what we are going to find is the answer that we are going to get here. Is it going to be greater than the dividend or not? That is what we are going to find. So if such a question comes, the answer will be greater, because 8 whole number divided by a fraction, we are absolutely going to multiply those two numbers, and the answer is going to be 24, which is obviously greater than 8, right? So if they give you a question like so and ask whether the answer is going to be greater than the dividend, the answer is yes. When a whole number is divided by a fraction, then it's going to be greater than the dividend. So if you see here, the fraction is divided by a whole number. Okay? Fraction is divided by a whole number. So here the question is, will the answer less than the dividend or greater than the dividend? Let us solve and find out. Write the fraction on the numerator, 1/3, and the whole number in the denominator, 8, is also equal to 8 over 1. Then the next step, you have to make a reciprocal of the denominator. 8 over 1 becomes 1 over 8, and the sign is times. Okay, so multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 8 is 24. So the answer is 1 over 24. 1 over 24 is less than the dividend 1 over 3, or 1/3. It is less. Okay? Okay. The next question is, two expressions will be given, and they will ask. There's a slight difference in those expressions. If you see here, in this expression, 1/8 is the same, but the whole number is different, right? One has a smaller value and the other whole number has a bigger value. What expression do you think will get bigger value answer? Let us check. So the first expression, when we work on, we get 1 over 32. The second expression, we get the answer 1 over 48. Which fraction is bigger? Let's compare it, okay? Usually, the fraction that has a lesser value in the denominator will be bigger. That means, in this case, 1 over 32 is bigger value. Okay, just look at the denominators. If the denominator value is less, when you compare two fractions, the fraction with the lesser value in the denominator. So 32 is less compared to 48. So 32, 1 over 32 fraction is bigger than the fraction 1 over 48. So the bigger fraction is 1 over 32. You can also divide and find out. When you divide, 1 over 38 becomes 0.032 and 1 over 48 will become 0.020. Now let us compare these two decimals values. So when you compare, 0 is same, 0 is same, 0 is same, 0 is same. Here there is 3 and here there is 2. We know that 3 is greater than 2. So this fraction is greater. Max has 15 pence and this is 1/5. So 15 is 1/5 and we need to find the total number of pence. Okay, so the total goes on the top and the fraction goes on the bottom. Okay, so the next step is the fraction will become the reciprocal of it. And it becomes 5 over 1. The answer is 75 pence are in total. So if you know the size and if you also know the fraction of it, just divide and then take the reciprocal of it and multiply. You will get the answer. The next problem, Mia has 36 clips. Hannah gets 1/4 of the clips from Mia. How many clips does Hannah get? So 36 clips are there and the other person is getting 1/4 of it, right? So let's find what is 1/4 of 36. 1/4 of 36, replace the word of with a times sign. You get 36 over 4, which is 9 clips. Now we are going to convert 1/8 pound into ounces. So converting pound to ounces, we know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Okay, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. We have to find 1/8 of 16 ounces. So write 1/8 times 16. Multiply the numerator, 16 over 8. How many 8 goes in 16? 2 8 goes in 16. The answer is 2 ounces. 2 ounces. So 1/12 will look like so, and 1 over 2 or half will look like so. Okay, so 1/12 is a smaller value and 1/2 is a bigger value, right? So when you there are two expressions given, so we are dividing number 6 with this 1/12, and again here too number 6 we're dividing it with 1 over 2 or half. So when you divide a number 6 with this size, we will get a lot of number of numbers, right, of such value unit. When you divide same number 6 with a bigger value, we get less number of that half size, right? So that is why when you divide 6 with 1/12, the value is greater, the answer is greater, and the same 6 when divided by half, the value is less because the size of half is bigger and here the size of 1/12 is smaller. Okay, so the question is two expressions, 1/6 divided by 4 and 1/5 divided by 4. The whole number is same in both the expressions, The difference is the fraction. Here we have 1/6. The size of 1/6, take a look at it in the tape diagram. It is very small compared to the fraction 1/5, which is little bigger than 1/6, right? So, when we divide a smaller value, and here we are dividing a bigger value, by the same number 4. Since we are already having a smaller value, the answer is going to be a smaller value. And since we are working on a bigger value, the answer is going to be bigger than the one on the left, right? Okay, so let's divide and find out. 1/6, write it in the numerator, divided by the whole number 4 in the denominator. When you take the reciprocal of 4, it becomes 1/4. You write that here. Then multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1, and then 6 times 4 is 24. So 1/24. And here write the numerator 1/5 and the denominator whole number, and then you take the reciprocal of it, and 4 will become 1/4. Multiply the numerators, 1, and 5 times 4 will become 20. We also know that if the denominators has a lesser value, so 20 is lesser than 24, then that fraction, so this fraction which has a lesser value in the denominator is larger in size. So the fraction with a larger number in the denominator is larger in size. Solve this problem. Multiply the numerators. 3 times 5 is 15. And then multiply the denominators. 4 times 4 is 16. So this is multiplication of two fractions. The same one. Please take a look at it.